Now, your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
We have 87 degrees outside right now with a feels like temperature already at 97, and an east wind continues to blow at 8. That east wind has been so very beneficial. You know that the concentrations of red tide in our waters have increased according to some data, and tomorrow we'll have a full report out. But certainly that easterly wind, I think, has helped in keeping some of the irritants down just a little bit by blowing them back out toward Gulf waters, even though still we have some locations with intense amounts of irritant in the air, according to the Mote Marine spotters. Well, that east wind is about to change, and it's about to change because of Florence. We'll talk about that in just a second. 20% chance of rain showers as we head through the afternoon and into the evening. Some of the storms building inland will have multiple lightning strikes and heavy downpours of rain. They'll probably be a little bit further inland today than they were 24 hours ago, and then they will gradually drift back to the coast. Radar right now is quiet. Florence decreased in intensity a little more with 105-mile-an-hour winds, but again, you're cutting straws between 105 and 110 or 15. Thankfully, it's not a Category 3 storm. It's a Category 2 storm. And as it gets closer to the coastline, there's even the potential it could decrease further than that, down to a 1 before making landfall. But certainly, they're going to see some hurricane-force winds later tonight into tomorrow morning right along the immediate coastline. By 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, it's really just hugging the coastline as a Category 2 is the forecast for intensity, and then decreasing down to a Category 1 as it moves over land. As it moves over land, it's going to rapidly degenerate into a tropical storm and eventually just a remnant low, but it's going to take days for it to get to this position, and it's not going to cover much territory. So that's the reason that we're a little concerned about freshwater flooding, because of the amount of rainfall. It's just going to push back from Atlantic waters. Forecast tracks are in excellent agreement on the track of this storm, so there's no concerns there. We have gone from, well, at times a completely closed off eye wall with good thunderstorm activity all around it, to an expanding eye wall with an exposed eastern section. So that is an indication that perhaps we might begin to see a little additional weakening, but it's going to be moving over some extremely warm Gulf Stream waters here, and we could see it again kind of tick up in wind speed just a little bit, especially if it starts to slow down. Obviously, a lot of rainfall being slung back. Some of the outer bands already starting to hit the coast, not even the most intense ones yet. So anywhere from, Jacksonville down to Wilmington in a course of about 3 or 4 hours are going to start to see some really, really heavy rainfall. Now, because it has decreased in intensity just a little bit, some of the storm surge values have also decreased just a little bit, but we're still going to see, especially upriver of like Pimlico and Cape Fear, we're going to see, anywhere from 9 to 13-foot storm surges there, and that's going to do a lot of damage. And along the immediate coast, anywhere from 9 to 10, 12-foot storm surges, plus the amount of rainfall it's going to produce is going to be intense. We're going to see perhaps as much as 2 feet of rain, maybe 3 feet of rain along some of those areas. And in inland locations where there are mountainous gullies and such, it could be a real problem with flash flooding. 10 knot winds for us. We will be seeing a 2-foot sea. And as we head through the afternoon, 10:21 low tide and a 4:09 high tide, we'll see our rain chances start to go down as early as tomorrow, because a little bit of dry air around Florence will filter in. We'll also watch our winds shift from east, which is where they have been, to a more westerly wind flow Friday and Saturday that could bring in some of those red tide irritants a little closer to shore or even a little further inland. Sunday, Monday, about a 30% to 50% chance of rainfall as some of those exterior bands maybe move through Gulf waters and kind of come into this direction. It'll just be an uptick in rainfall chances. There won't be anything severe about them. Back to you.